5 years ago, our colleague Richard Louie learned of his father's Alzheimer's diagnosis and prepared to leave his dream job. Instead, he reduced his work hours and joined 53 million Americans in becoming a family caregiver. He is the author of a new book about that experience entitled Enough About Me, The Unexpected Power of Selflessness. And Richard joins us now. I love this, Richard. I have so many questions and so many ways in which I relate to having a parent who's struggling. Yeah. Let's start with what inspired the book.
Well, Mika, yeah, I'm glad we can talk about this because I watched you share your story, and we have similar paths in that we were caring for our father. And that's what started it for me 7 years ago when he was diagnosed with dementia and Alzheimer's. And then began the question, what I want to do. And I had a year. I went over to talk to Yvette Miley, who you know well, and she said, guess what, Richard? I'm caring for my mother, who's a long distance as well. And let's figure out something. And so began this Friday, Saturday, Sunday schedule. And it brought me, as well as the stories we're covering today, like Colorado and the hate crimes against the Asian American community, where we have to look outside ourselves, basically. And I think my father, who's a pastor, kind of was showing me that, but not telling me that, Mika.
And what did you learn about yourself and your father during your time caring for him, spending time with him? I've
kind of like rediscovered myself about 2 times in the last 7 years, Mika, recreating what I think is important in life, what I think is important to do. And I think that my father, who continues to encourage me to do different things, even though he can't talk or walk right now, maybe he's laughing inside to say, you're actually doing a book about selflessness? Well, I got you, you know, I got what I exactly wanted you to do in the end, Richard. So Mika, as you know personally, it's a journey of discovery, but something I think I'm going to take with me for the rest of my life. Yeah,
yeah. I'm Richard, your son. I'm looking at the picture. It is funny how they can forget names, but the love is there. Can you talk a little bit about that? I mean, that picture says so much to me about what you already knew about him and you.
Well, I was wondering, Mika, if he was there. And so some of the ways that we would figure that out is to talk into a microphone, as you can see the headphones in this picture. And this is the time where I said to him, Dad, if you can hear me, blink once. And it was a risk, right? I didn't know if he was going to do it. And he blinked once. And Mika, I was like, I can't believe this. I took out my phone. I had it right here. And I said, it's Richard, your son. If you remember me, blink once. And he did it again. And I think that part of seeing what's behind the forehead, that's what behind people is so important. And as he has shown me throughout my life and now through this book is, you know, how do you think and do things day by day? Because he was a very simple person. He was a social worker. My mom was a school teacher. And they represented, I think, in their lives without telling me, right? They weren't preachy about it. They just lived in a selfless manner.
I think I want to ask you about the power of selflessness as our final question, but also just want to point out that sometimes, you know, a parent may lose words, but that makes it your job to find out what they're saying to you. You know, it doesn't end there. And I learned it's way beyond not just, you don't correct them, but you need to figure it out because it is there. Love is there, even if someone with dementia or Alzheimer's has lost the words. So tell me what you have learned about the power of selflessness.
And Mika, that's exactly it. I had to figure it out along with my siblings. We had to figure out how to communicate and show our care and love for my father. And through that, we discovered, well, there's a lot of benefits. There's a lot of joy despite difficulty. And that keyed the beginnings of the book to talk about, well, how can we practically be selfless every day? And so began the little things, not the big things necessarily, not the Desmond Tutu, Mother Teresa sort of acts, more of what could we do every day. And that's why this was approached in a very scientific way, as well as very practical. How can I do something when I make a choice every 15 minutes kind of way? A blue collar approach to a white collar idea.
Hey, thanks so much for watching our YouTube channel. You can follow up on today's top stories and breaking news, or catch up on your favorite MSNBC shows all in one place. Download the NBC News app today.